Good afternoon. I'm hanging out in Shroud of the Avatar yet another day. I'm in the fabulous Elysium Mines. It's dark in here. I didn't start a light. I was trying to get like cool lighting from this lantern. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. Hello, everybody. What's the game like? What's the game audio sound like? Oh, that might be okay. Apparently, I've got skills going up. Oh, I needed to get that one to 40 so I can buy this one. No, so I can buy this one. Increases healing effects of life skills. Yes, I want that. I want more healing effects from my life skills. All right, we're just going to lock this one for now. I'm not necessarily trying to heal others, so I don't care about ramping that one up. Life range and radius. Increases range and radius of life spells. I guess I can just go buy that when I get there. Anyway, that's cool. Oh, I need to get this to 40 and this to 40. Then I can buy resurrection. Goals. I has goals. Here, let me open up my stream so I can see what's going on. Am I muted? Yes. Excellent. Now I can see what's going on. All right, perfect. Let's find something to do. Let us find something to do. I turned on the music in here. Let's turn up. I don't know if the mines have any music, but we'll find out. I need my water elemental. And I need my strength of earth buff. Let's go mine some silver. I was doing this earlier, I got kicked out, so I just left. Did some stuff around the house. It's all good. It's been a good day so far. Hopefully everybody's having a good day so far. I could use some light. Oh, light is level 62. I'm going to be a powerful source of light in the future. Mostly just a blades deck. Nothing too fancy. Gotta get rid of this guy, or else it's gonna shoot me when I come back up that hallway in about 15 or 20 minutes. Oh, there's nothing in there. I gotta go over here. Edith Eldora, how are you today? Happy Thursday, I think it is. Hopefully you're doing well. I'm mining. This might end up being a crafting stream. I've been playing with some things, learning some more stuffs about Shroud of the Avatar and all the crafting that goes on. One thing I need is a lot of silver, and I am hanging out in Elysium Mines, known for its abundance of silver. One? Unacceptable. I need to get more than one from one of these nodes. I need thousands upon thousands of silver. Typically, I get more than one, so that's pretty rare. See, I get two. Need to find a rich node. Oh, so there's something in the game called there's a skill in crafting on all of the resource gathering. Well, most of the resource gathering, they have something called meticulous collection. And what it does is that when you're mining, you go through your little far too long animation. I think it's about 8 seconds for mining. You actually have a chance to do it again on one node. And when you do it again, you get more stuff. I did actually have a meticulous times 8. It can do it again, and then every time it does it, it has a chance to do it again. So I actually did a times 8 and got like 10 silver ore. I really should have taken a screenshot of it because it was quite something. Okay, I gotta run across here, escape these satyrs because I don't care to fight them. It's actually a cool little area. I need to spend a little bit more time here. Maybe when I come out, I quite often will bring other lower level crafters here and help them gather resources. But there's actually a puzzle. So the mine is actually there's an old, I'm going to say temple or something. These buildings seem, I don't know, they seem significant somehow. I haven't quite figured out what it's about, but it's pretty cool. And there actually is a puzzle on it where you get like several mirrors to shine light on one spot. But it's hard to do alone. There is some very bright blue water. This guy's going to interrupt me. How rude. All right, back to my mining. There's a few critters to deal with, but not too many. They're mostly just a hassle now. I don't know who turned this into a mine. It's an interesting little hole in the ground. It's as if the ground is either surrounding these structures, or the ground used to surround the structures and now they're falling away. I don't know. I'll need to make something up and get everybody to believe it. Are you a rerun? No, I'm not a rerun. I am live. There's been lots of reruns. Oh, I feel bad for the low troll hardware engineers today. Hey, Druid's Fire. Nice to see ya. Is there some significance to the blueness of the water or just a design choice? You know, on this map, there is the Falls of Lamentation. I don't know if there must be some kind of significance to the blueness of the water. I don't know. I'm going to say there is. I don't like, after spending enough time with Corey Olsen and Lotro, I like to assume that every design decision that was made has a reason behind it. Even if the developer didn't know what the reason was when they did it. I like to think that way. I hope they haven't been working all this. Yeah, I'm worried that there's going to be a lot of people that are short on sleep. I've worked around in that industry, and after about 12 hours, the chance of making a mistake starts to go up very, very quickly. So that's why I feel for them. It cannot be easy to stay alert after a very, very long transition. Shroud's Fire says, I feel their pain immensely right now at a kilt making day today. Had a bad kilt. Oh, you had a bad kilt make. Oh. Had a bad kilt making day. That's not good. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like it takes so little time to make a mistake, and then quite often it can take a lot of time to recover from it. I suspect that's in complicated matters that will happen. Is it phosphorus or something? It might be. I don't know if it's related to silver. So the interesting thing is these falls of lamentation are frozen. So I think the water on the ground is actually liquid, but the water on the walls are like, they fall. The show will be better titled Zen and the Art of Sewing Machine Repair. Oh my goodness. You had mechanical failures today? That is crazy. Well, I am hoping we wake up tomorrow morning with good news from our Lotro friends. And that they are still sleeping. Or most of them are still sleeping. And I hope we wake up tomorrow morning with properly functioning sewing machines as well. Lots of whiny players in the Facebook post. Oh yeah, I'm sure everybody's like, why can't you just do this? I've worked in tech a long time, and it's... Oh, I need to go across here. Who's fighting in here? Ow. I think I can go away. I've worked in tech a long time, and I realize that sometimes no matter how long you plan, it's tough to get a job like that done. And the other side of that is... Like I was working in tech, building out like large online pieces of software 15 years ago, right around the same time Lotro was being architected. The technology has changed a lot. So part of me is wondering how complicated that gets for them, just the age of all the decisions that have been made for all that software and everything that they've done. Why didn't you get a redundant system with all the money you've been raking in? Yeah, just get a redundant system. Oh, a ghost. Maybe it's ghosts that make the water blue? Ghosts are hard to kill. They sap the life from you. Although that guy went down fairly quick. Alright, there's nothing over here. Hey, Hardhit. Welcome, welcome. Call Ghostbusters. That's right. I don't think I have a I don't think I have a weapon that can, whatever the Ghostbuster weapon was called. I can't even remember. Don't cross the streams. That's all I can remember. Yeah, and it's not done yet, so I have more work to do, but I'll wait till Saturday. I have to read up on the tabletop game I'm playing it. Oh, yes, that's right. Druid's Fire is doing a... it's helping that out. That'll be fun. That'll be really cool. I'll have to remember to try and tune into that. I think it's during the day. I do have a busy day at work tomorrow, but I'll see if I can tune it into the background. Oh, another ghost. Where does a ghost carry gold? Yeah, right? You know, it's funny playing this game. This game came out of, like, it's Richard Garriott's project. Portalarium is his new company, and so the predecessors to this game are both the Ultima series of single player old school RPGs and Ultima Online, sandboxy MMO. If you go to the Ultima Online page, they constantly call it the first MMORPG, which I don't think is technically true, but I think it is the first game that was called that. I think Meridian 59 was older than it, but anyway. There's two groups of players in here. One, a group of players that want it to be just like Ultima, and a group of players that want it just to be like Ultima Online. And those are two very different experiences. The people from Ultima really can't stand the fact that a ghost has gold. It's like, why does a ghost have gold? A ghost should not have gold. But then the people from Ultima Online are MMORPG players, so they're like, I killed something, I should get loot. Yeah, it's a very different... Oh, where'd my water elemental go? Oh, there it is. Come back. The tabletop game is at 9 p.m. Eastern. Oh, it's 9 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, cool. That I could make, except my work is got a night event going on, so I will not be home until extremely late. Where does it go? Proton packs. Nice. There'll be a VOD. Nice. There's too many VODs. One of the guys, there's a guy that streams online. His name is Dr. L. Dr_L. I don't know when he got a 4-letter Twitch name, but good for him. It's got an underscore in it, but whatever. I came across this guy because he streams Shroud of the Avatar that I'm playing. And he's actually a really good player. Quite advanced. And I've played with him a couple times. But he teaches... he's a physics professor, but he's actually on Twitch during the afternoons. He teaches like algebra. And I've been watching him, and it's actually been really fun just to sit and listen to him teach algebra. But it's during the afternoon, so I don't get to see it. And I'm like, oh, there's all these VODs that I want to see. There's just not enough time in the day for all the good content on Twitch. You know a couple of Twitch streamers with 4-letter handles? Nice. I don't know if I've mentioned this several times, so I may be repeating myself, but I actually got, because I live in San Francisco, I work 2 blocks from the Twitch headquarters right now, but I actually got like recruited by Twitch in 2011 and 2013. Had I joined them in 2011, I would probably have a much shorter name too. Or at the very least, I wouldn't have a 42 in the end of it. All right, backtrack a bit. So there are 41 other grav. No, I don't think so. 42 is just a nod to Douglas Adams. See here, the blue phosphorus. I guess it is moving, isn't it? It might be. You know what it is? There's something in the game they call Aether. Aether. And I don't exactly know what it is, but I think that's what this is. It's like a liquid ether or something. There's one gravity on Twitch that has no 42 in his name, but or her name, who knows. I keep checking if I can nab that name, but so far no luck. 42 is the answer to gravity. That's right. I am a when I came up with that name, I thought I could do a joke when I was streaming and say that I'm a weak attractive force and the answer to life, the universe, and everything all wrapped up into one. The weak attractive force thing, people don't get that. They don't understand that gravity is actually a weak force. Of all the gravity and electromagnetic are weak forces compared to the nuclear forces. So. And that is about the extent of my knowledge of physics. So don't ask me any more questions about that. There will be no test later. I'll take some crystal. I only know that from reading astronomy magazine, right? Yeah, I find physics interesting on the surface, but I don't care to go that deep into it. So I've read like all the kind of the popular physics books, physics for dummies, maybe. I don't even know if there's literally a physics for dummies, but those kind of books. This takes way too long. I'm going to complain about it at some point. But... Oh, there's meticulous times 2. Can I get a third? Nope. And we're done. So now we just run back. So that's the circle. It's a fairly straightforward little circle around this zone. I don't bother going into any of the buildings. Oh, I will take this large crystal. Math and science didn't come as natural to me as language arts did, and I was too shy to ask the teacher for help, so I've always been a little behind on those subjects. Yeah, sometimes you just don't. Sometimes you're just not good at everything. And now I'm back at the beginning. So I'll start the loop again. There's a satyr over there that's going to come over and interrupt me unless I can finish this before he gets here. Come on, do it. Do it. Do it, miss. Nope. Oh, but they give me a meticulous. Nice. Nothing special from it, though. Yeah, I tended to do better at mathematical classes more than language. I really had to press myself when I was in college to do well at my language classes. Although I have a business degree with a major in computer science, so my language classes being the 2 English classes I had to take. Pick up all the things. You're an English major, mostly because that's where most of my credits were when it came time to declare a major. Got it. All right, I leveled up Swift Gathering. Let's get that up there. This is my little race across this platform. Above me is a bunch of satyrs that I don't actually want to fight, so I just run through them. Like that guy. Ow. Shot me in the back. How rude. Do you choose a craft in this game? No, you actually don't choose anything. Which is to say, I assume your question means, do you choose a constraint? Like in Lotro, where you choose a vocation and therefore you're constrained to one specific thing. This game doesn't constrain you in any way. It constrains you by virtue of scaling progress against difficulty. Hey, goofy old lady, nice to see ya. Druid's Fire says, I was a history major. We can't count. History would be fun, though. When I got my history elective when I went to college, that was a really good class. I really enjoyed that. I ended up with a really good professor, and I think I think that's true of most classes, but for something like history, a really good professor changes the class a lot. So in this game, you can earn. You can basically master every skill in this game, whether it's adventuring or crafting. So for crafting, what happens is you earn this experience. So down here, there's a pooled experience number, which is probably really hard to see. Mine is 434,000. And then as I do things like mine, this particular skill, which is swift gathering, is going up. So every time I mine one of these nodes, I earn, here, let's freeze this. So now nothing's going to go up. So when I finish mining this node, the game is going to give me experience. So my experience just went up by an even 1,000. So if I set swift gathering to go up and I mine this node is also going to give me an even 1,000. But I'm also going to increase in skill on swift gathering. And I did. So what happens is that the increase in skill here costs most of my 1,000 XP. So a skill going up reduces the XP in your pool. So there's no levels or anything. XP just gets pooled, and then as skills go up, they take XP out of the pool. If you don't have any XP in your pool, your skills can't go up. And it's really hard to basically level everything up to max out every skill, because it's really, really hard to get enough XP to do that. So the other way this game works is that the power curve is a lot different than most other games. So in Lotro, for example, the power curve, when you go from level 50 to 60, that's 10 full levels, and your power curve goes up a certain amount. Let's say that it doubles. So between 50 and 60, you have a skill that now does twice as much damage. When you go from level 60 to 65, you'll nominally get that same amount of damage. So it's not an exponential power curve, it's a logarithmic power curve. So as your level goes up, your power goes up significantly. In this game, it's the opposite. It's a fall-off curve. So the difference in this game between level, let's say 90 and 100, is really the same as the difference between 85 and 90, which is the difference between 83 and 85 or something like that. So as you get higher and higher in skills, they get vastly more expensive because the cost of them goes up exponentially, but their benefit goes up very slowly. Where am I going? I think I'm going this way. I forgot where I was. I'm definitely going this way. So Dirge Fire, so that's why I was a history major. Started out as an aerospace engineer. Wow, that's a big change. Holy cow. Although aerospace has some pretty cool history, but that's a pretty big change. So to put some numbers behind it, if I look at like adventuring skills and look at blades, there's sort of a basic set of math. So if I look at double slash, for example, double slash costs me about 16,000 XP to get to 50. It costs me about 80,000 XP. Hold on. I can actually go and look this up because believe it or not, I have notes on most of this stuff. So to get to 50 cost me 10,000 XP. To get to 80 cost me 180,000 XP. To get to 100 cost me 1.2 million XP. To get to 150 cost me 142 million XP. And then to get it to 200 cost me 16 billion XP. With a major diminishing set of returns. So you can be anything that you want. It just takes a lot of time to get really good at anything. So you can definitely be a master of, jack of all trades, master of none if you like. Or you can be a grandmaster in a few. Be all you can be all you can be. Exactly. The other cool thing about the game is that it doesn't separate people. So when you come into the game as a new person, hard like if you have like 10 hours in this game and you come into Elysium Mines, these satyrs that I'm killing fairly easily they'll kill you quite quickly. But if you come with me, you can actually do stuff and you will gain XP from it. So if you group up with people, you can group up all over the power curve and the game is just fine. I've went into areas where I would be one-shotted by mobs with groups and survived without a problem. I just have to be careful. It's one of the nice things about the game is that when you go to group up, there really isn't very many kind of like level restrictions. It just doesn't matter. Now that's not entirely true. If you're going to there's some very, very high-end content. And I'm going to guess that if somebody's getting an 8-person party together to go into the Rise, they probably don't want a new character. Because it's really, really hard. But there's a lot of high-end content that people do regularly that new characters can go into. And I've grouped up with streamers. I've had streamers. It's cool, actually. I've met streamers that stream this game that'll do raffles, and one of the raffle, like they've done prizes like I'll take you into and we'll fight like an ogre or a troll or a dragon or something. I can't remember if they have both ogres and trolls or not. Some big Etten-like creature. I guess big Etten-like is a bit redundant. Mobs fight each other too, which is kind of cool. So the archer and the ghost will sit here and battle each other. So I can clean up all the ore while they're distracted. I've also had viewers do that too. Just offer. It's like, hey, come group up. And then we went out and like killed dragons. And there's just no way that I could have done that on my own. And they then let me loot it. They set it to free for all loot. They let me loot it. And Elvalen, hey, what is a gravity? It's a me. It is what you see. Nothing more. I could say, well, what was my joke? I forgot it already. It's a weak attractive force, and the answer to life, the universe, and everything. Hello and welcome. Thanks for dropping in. I'm trying to guess if you're If your name is pronounced with 3 syllables or with 4. Oh, there was a... I was pretty sure the ghost was going to win. It should be around here somewhere. I mean, your companion. Yes, it is. Three or 4. That's my water elemental. Half full. Because I am a very optimistic person, so I named my water elemental half full. Because it's not half empty. I got a thing to... Whoa! Don't shoot me. Oh, let's take out this guy while we're here, because he's probably going to path around the corner. Ow! I'm just mining away. I'm hanging out in the lithium mines, the silver mine of choice for most people. Potentially the silver mine of choice for all people. I don't know. Oh, apparently this guy won. I can't believe you beat the ghost. I'm impressed. I'm still going to take you out, though. Oh, you didn't beat the ghost. You were just running from it. Oops. The way you describe this game makes me think of something like OS RuneScape with better graphics. Okay, I'm not familiar with that game, so... Yeah, there's a number of interesting features in the game. One, the classless skill system. So you don't pick a class. You can do anything. When I go into combat, I have like 10 slots in my combat bar. And that's it. I can only ever have 10 slots. And what you do, you actually build decks out of all the skills that you have. So this is my current one that I have equipped. And then this is what my deck looks like for this one. So these first 3 slots are drawn dynamically. So if you think about it as I got a big deck, which are all the skills that I have, and then this is my hand. And then as I play my hand, I can only have 10 cards on the table at once. So these are locked, so they never change, and there's pros and cons to that. The pro is that it's always there. The con is it's hard to make it more powerful, and it costs a little bit more to use. And then these ones are dynamic. It makes it easy to power them up, and they cost a little bit less to use. And apparently, and I don't know this for sure because I haven't played it, but apparently it's a lot like the board game Dominion. So if you're familiar with that, I guess that is very similar to what this combat system is. But yeah, one of the things that I like about it is that everything you do in the game has some value throughout the entirety of the game. So as power levels change, like in a lot of basically my main MMO for the last 8 years has been Lord of the Rings Online. But things that you craft at level 20 are of no use to you once you're at level 30, essentially. Or very little use. But this game is a little bit different in that regard, in that the mundane things that you make at low levels are actually useful all the way through your character's life as your character grows and becomes more powerful. Ooh, 3. Silver is very important. Its main use in crafting, well, its main use. Its most common use in crafting is for masterworking weapons. So you make a weapon with mundane ingredients like, or basically you make a weapon with metal, and then you essentially upgrade it with silver. I'll run and grab these two. See if I get a diamond. Nope, just fragments. And more fragments. Tungsten, so that's a rare. So there's the metal in the game is, and this is sort of what I'm working myself through to get a good understanding of this. Iron and copper are basic metals. I'm also mining silver. Gold and silver are not considered metals. Like you don't make weapons directly out of them. And then you can make bronze, which takes copper and tin. And then you can make constantan, which takes copper and nickel. You can make meteoric, which takes iron, nickel, and tungsten. And you can make white iron, which takes iron, tin, and tungsten. So the rarer things, like tungsten, is nice to see. And it is worth a lot. Hello, Delarfa. Nice to see you. Welcome, welcome. Got a very casual crafting stream. Although crafting in Shroud of the Avatar, if you're doing any kind of resource gathering, you're going to be doing a bunch of combat. Mining is not too bad. The mines actually do have a pretty good abundance of nodes without having to fight a lot. But there's a few satyrs down here and some ghosts that I have to deal with occasionally. Whoa, Trains Worthington. Thanks for the host. Thank you, thank you. Hope you're well. Thanks, nice to see you, man. Nice to see you. Elvalin, it's... Can you get a house? Yes. It's actually really quite easy to get a house now. Wait, where am I going? Lost my way. There's a bit of a path that I have to follow. So when you start the game, there's a story. There's actually 3 paths in the game. And the paths are based upon the principles through which the virtues are placed. So if you're familiar with the Ultima games, you may have heard of the virtues. Oh, I'll take this ghost out. You may have heard of the virtues. So there's 3 principles of truth, love, and courage. And then from those principles are derived the 8 virtues. So this game introduces us to, specifically, the 3 principles of truth, love, and courage. And there are quest lines. When you start, there are quest lines that follow the path of truth, the path of courage, and the path of love. And when you start the game, there's a little bit of a, I don't know. There's a little scene that's basically a tutorial. Here's how you move, kind of thing. There's no combat in it or anything. And then you go on to another scene, depending on what path that you pick. And then that scene will take you into your main storyline. So you start in an area called the Outskirts. So there's 3 outskirt zones. It's got a number of quests in it, all based upon the story that you're doing. And once you finish those quests, you are rewarded with a house. Well, more specifically, you're rewarded with a house deed. Or a lot deed. It's a row lot. It's the smallest one, and a row lot comes with a default house on it. What's my virtue? Well, you can follow them all. So I have followed truthfully. That's a bad word to use. I have followed diligently all of the principles of truth, love, and courage. Although in this character, I have not really made any progress down the love line. So I'm a heavy armor user. So what they do in the start of the game is you kind of pick your I don't know if you've ever played the old Ultimas, especially the standalone games, but you'd wake up in your house and you'd go outside and there'd be a gypsy, and the gypsy would ask you questions and you would have to pick one of 3 answers. And from that, you would sort of be aligned with a particular virtue. This game starts off in a similar fashion. And if you end up but it only aligns you with one of the 3 principles. So if you align with courage, you end up being a heavy armor blades person at the beginning. You can then become anything you want, but you start as sort of a heavy armor blades person. If you pick truth, you end up being a mage, and if you pick love, you end up being like a medium armor archer. So generally speaking, my main virtue would be courage, or my main principle would be courage. The virtue is valor. The virtue system is really interesting, and they don't, from what I can tell, they don't tie a lot of things into the virtue system. There's actually some gear that you get that will change color depending on your virtue. But it's your overall level of virtue across all of them, especially across the 3 principles. What is the airspeed of an unladen swallow? Something like that. Go Gravity. Hey, Brant, nice to see you, man. What's up? It's a long time. Oh, come back. Ghosts are annoyingly hard to see. I guess that's supposed to be the point, but... Oh, I missed a silver. I'm doing some exciting crafting. It's a crafting stream. That's another loop. And like every other MMO, you just play until your bags fill up. And you go do inventory management for a while. I got 200 silver ore. That's pretty good. That'll make me 50 ingots, which will give me 10 masterworks. Does being near water sources help Halffle? You know what? I don't know. It was always their intention in this game to do things like that. How do you dodge? I hate when they dodge your like finishing blow. I have a blow called, I have something called coup de grace, which does a huge amount of damage, and then I go to throw it on them to kill it, and they dodge the whole thing, and it does nothing. Like, God, that drives me nuts. It's supposed to be a finishing blow. I noticed that in Lotro too, at level 120, your coda on your minstrel isn't really all that useful anymore. It seems to be easy to resist, so I just hardly ever use my... I hardly ever throw my coda anymore. Does water help water elementals? I don't think it does. It should though, shouldn't it? That would be interesting. They always had the intention of doing things that like if it's raining out and you were doing fire magic, that they would be less effective. And that works for both sides. If it's, you know, if you go in and fight all the skeleton mages that cast fire on you, you should do it in the rain so that they do less damage. Brant, I've been a ghost. You advanced where you mine faster? No, unfortunately you don't. It really doesn't get it much faster. I don't think. I don't... But yeah, it's too slow. It is far too slow. It takes... The way that their mechanics work for crafting is just too... So in mining, there is a swift gathering skill, so I'm actually trying to raise it right now. But I think like you end up at like reducing your time by 20%. So you take 8 seconds down to like 7, 6.5 seconds. Like it's just not that big a deal. And it does take a little too long. I call that coup de grace. Yeah. I call it Coupe de Gracie when it doesn't work. Oh, Lotro, their 3-day server moving adventure? Yeah, those poor people. I don't... Hopefully they come out of it alive. I mean, I'm sure they will, but... That's a struggle. All right, start the loop again. Whoa, my light went out. One does not... Looks like I can get to 22% reduction. Well, that's in the next 20 levels. So that... So it says I'm at level 89, so I've currently got 17.8%. Mining gathering time bonus. I'm not sure what that means. Like, is it minus 17%? I'm not sure what that means. And then at level 109, it's 21.8%. Taking things above 100 is really expensive. What does the Royal Tinkerer above your name mean? Wow, I had no idea people could read that detail in my stream. I play at 1440 and then I shrink it down to 720. So usually text just gets like really blurry. Royal Tinkerer is a title that was given to certain levels of Kickstarter. So this game was funded early on through Kickstarter, and depending on what level that you bought into, you got certain titles. So the royal part is actually how quickly you bought in. Like, did you buy in before, I think, May of 2015? And then the Tinkerer part is the level that you bought in at. You got a big monitor? Nice. Okay. The one thing that does speed up the critical mining will, it's basically half a second. So those are really fast. Oh, there, my swift gathering in mining just increased to level 90. Now it's at 18%. Hey, stop. Oh. There's a whole bunch of people fighting here. The ghost is fighting this satyr. That satyr's fighting that ghost. And it says bear under your name. It does. That is my guild. More specifically, the Bear Tavern. Which sadly is really quiet right now. I have not seen very many people on. It doesn't help that our guild leader is from England, so typically I don't see him on anyway. Just because of time zones. When does not simply move servers to Mordor? No, they don't. Although you'd think they were moving them through. Yeah, I feel bad for those guys. Obviously, plans went awry. There's the crit. So that one takes... That one's nice and fast. Yeah, I think crit takes 1 second, and I think this takes 8. Yeah, me too. Better get it done right instead of quickly. Yeah, if it's a hardware move, I don't think they got many options. Like, it'll really suck if it comes back and it turns out that the delays were all because of bureaucracy or something. I think I missed one. That would be very frustrating. I'm confused by the hardware move. Thought they ran off AWS. No, they don't. I believe they own all their own hardware. So this, I kind of was thinking about this earlier, Brant, because I don't know if, like, the game would have been architected 15 years ago. Like, most of the software is, I mean, they obviously they've kept changing the software, but a lot of the software is 15 or 17 years old. And I suspect most of the server architecture was largely designed about 15 years ago. The game's almost 12 years old, right? So maybe 14, 13 years ago, kind of final decisions. My guess is a lot of that architecture hasn't changed much. Now, it would have had to mold to new servers and whatnot, but I don't know if even going into a cloud offering like that is even possible for them. I'm not sure. They may be very reliant on present physical disks or something. But yeah, doing it in the cloud. I mean, the one great thing about the cloud is that you can actually rehearse these things. You can do like a full rehearsal of a move like this. You can just fake move it and then just tear down whatever you moved, because every move is just a copy. You can fake move a running system, learn a whole bunch. Typically, you'd still need some downtime, but don't know if I'm supposed to be able to go through that wall that easily, but I have found a way. Yeah, dry running is tons easier in the cloud. Yeah, for sure it is. For sure. Although I admit, I run an online application right now, and I did a dry run of something and it brought the real one down momentarily. Oops. Learned something new. I did in fact learn something new. Oh, I think I might have got spotted. I could probably manage breaking a live server while testing another one. Yeah, it can be It's the littlest things every once in a while. To give you an idea of what I did, when I tried to run something, I was doing a new process to duplicate a database, and the new process to duplicate a database ended up putting a value into another system, just a string. It was just kind of a descriptor, and as it turned out, that value could not start with an @ sign. And the secondary system that I was using, or the vendor provided system that I was using, produced a value with an @ sign at the beginning. So that's what I learned. It's like, oh, I have to quote this one value differently because apparently it cannot have an @ sign at the very beginning. The things you learn, it's just like, how would I have ever known that? Hello, Tenulio. Nice to see you. Welcome. I'm good at breaking stuff. Help desk staff loathe me. By the way, this game isn't all running around beating on rocks. There's actually quite a few things to fight. Although I tend to be one of those people that like to run around beating on rocks until they give up all the goods. There's a ghost. Oh, the ghost saw me. Ghosts are affected by fire, I think. Yeah. Not sure how that works, but they do burn. There we go. I got my coup de grace working. That was a sweet one. 396 damage. Usually I do about 30 damage with my best skill. I did 396 with my charged finishing skill. It does a, if the mob is below 20%, it does 5x whatever you hit. And it's actually one of the skills I'm trying to... Coup de grace is right here. It's one of the skills I'm leveling up. So there you can see its damage. Coup de grace is currently 38 to 313 physical damage. This is my best other skill, which is 50 to 83. But these ones are really nice for bosses, because once you get it down to 20%, that can still be a very large number. So you can really finish them off quickly, because you can probably get 2 hits on a boss in with your finishing skill. So I'm trying to, one of the I don't really need to use a finishing skill against these mobs, but it's good practice to kind of figure out the timing. Make sure I use it when it's below 20%. I got to do the math in my head really quickly on the mob, but the ghost is tough because the ghost will leech life off of you. So the longer it takes to fight, the longer it takes to kill the ghost, the longer it takes because it's constantly just taking your life away from you. So you want to kill it very quickly. That's the end of that loop. Oh, and a ghost. I think I just missed. I think I missed on that one. Ugh, you said math. Really? I did say math. I didn't think it was that bad a thing, though. It's game math. Isn't game math fun math? So I'm gonna, I'm back at the beginning of the circle, but I'm actually just going to take these few nodes that are easy to grab and head back and do something with all this ore that I picked up. Oh, I got a teleport scroll. Nice. The fast travel in this game, everything in this game costs something. That's another interesting thing that they do, is that generally speaking, when you do something, it will take something out of the economy of the game. So all of the fast travel costs a scroll, and the scrolls have to be made, and they don't cost very much, but it's just a little bit. Kind of like the traveling rations in UO, or UO. Not going back that far. Traveling rations in Lotro. All right, grab the easy ones. Actually, I could show off this zone a bit. This zone's actually kind of cool. I run around the bottom of it, but it's actually quite interesting up higher. So let's get around the corner here. Cover is really important in this game. Most of the places in the dungeons and whatnot where you fight, you want to pay attention to the cover that you get. There's also things like these sturdy vines that will take you up higher. And these sturdy vines that will take you up even higher. There we go. So we're in kind of an underground cavern. Although it's not, it's sort of open on the top. And I can't decide whether the ground is kind of swallowed up this place, or if it was all subterranean to begin with. Oh, and there's the puzzle piece. Rotating mirror. Oh, I can even hover over it from here. So I should be able to go up here. They need a slightly better animation for moving a rotating object. You just like slap it. I don't know where this one's supposed to go, though. Anyway, there's more than one of these mirrors. There's one all the way over there. Not sure if I can get... Oh, well, I might be able to. Kind of ignore those guys for a bit. Hey, stop shooting me. Oh, man. I asked nicely. Apparently I can't go in the building. Maybe he really doesn't want to move it and he's giving attitude, maybe. That could be it. They also have like lots of secrets in the game, so I usually turn on or off a lot of the lights. So this place has lights all the way across. I don't know if this is a secret or not, but we'll see. Nothing appeared to happen. Whoa, there's a trap. Ah, so this one actually has light on it. Is it coming from above? Is that what it's doing? No, the light moved over there. It must be coming from above. Oh, that was a long fall. That's all right. Ah, I broke some of the bridge. Oh, how did you get up? Wow, he followed me up the vine? I didn't know they would do that. I'm impressed. All right, now the light's shining on this one. Whoa! This guy followed me all the way up here too. Big Ed lived back there. I saw a fish. You saw a fish mural? What? That's not it. Ah, that's it. So now I gotta go do this one. The fishing in this game is pretty solid, though. There's no mini game to fishing though. Like you just cast the rod and then you just click on a spot and then you just wait. Oh, is that a fourth one? It must be. Yes, it is. There we go. Should we go get ourselves killed now that I got the door open? Why not? Hey. Who put up all these stupid barricades? With all those mirrors you have to move reminds me of Warrior 3 instance. Yeah, kind of, doesn't it? That's a good point. All right. I have no idea if I'm going to be able to survive this, so let's find out. Long-term buff, short-term buff, short-term damage buff, short-term protection buff. Wait, there's nothing here. Oh, wait. Hey, don't go after my healer. Come on. Get. Oh, this is not going to work out. Well, they both went after my healer. My water elemental is a healer, by the way. So that's... Oh, now ghosts. 3 ghosts. should have these guys, but I'm getting short on focus. Make sure I don't run out of focus. Ah, a mage. And somebody named Tikaios. Just a named ghost. It's not too difficult. Doesn't look like I can stun him. My stun works reasonably well against ghosts. But it stops them from healing. Some mobs have a teleport skill, so it's teleporting me away from it. Which is actually just kind of funny. And slightly annoying. Oh man, I missed on one coup de grace and it dodged the other one. Woohoo! I got it! I think that's the first named boss I've ever soloed in this game. I get 13 gold. Just almost nothing. So the good job, thank you. So one of the things they do in this game is they have long-term buffs. Like some buffs last for a full week in real time. So this little platform is actually what the loot is. And I guess I should have done this first, as it turns out. So if I go into this little platform, I'm going to get a buff. And it is Blessing of Maintenance. I get plus 25% weapon durability effectiveness, plus 25% armor durability, and plus 25 shield durability. I guess that wouldn't matter. But basically, all my time in the mine. It lasts for 3 days. So, and that buff, I will not lose that buff on death. That will last 3 full days now. So what is it, Thursday? So late afternoon on Sunday. I have that. And what's interesting, oh, they have a switch. That's cool. But yeah, this is it's a nice little area. It's kind of cool. I don't think that did anything. Don't spend it all in one place. Yeah, for sure. Oh, look. Oh, there we go. That's better. I get some chests. The fragments aren't worth much, but 50 more gold. Oh, a bundled banner of justice. What? Okay, well, that was worth the price of admission. Some fragments, a little bit more gold. Refresh that. Get as much as I can. And I guess I get out. All right, that's the little puzzle in Elysium Mines. That was cool. I'm glad I stopped to do that. I really expected to die in there. And you'll notice that if we go out front, that the light is not shining on the gem anymore. The mirrors do reset, which is why it can be difficult for one person to do it. Which is why I wasn't stopping to fight anything in between them. I was just running by all the mobs because they would have. It's potentially they could have all reset before I would have got it done. All right, I want to head home. So I'm just going to teleport. Famines is raiding with a party of 19. Hello. Hey, Famines. Famines is a regular and obsessive Shroud of the Avatar streamer. I raided Famines once, and then he streamed for like 24 hours, and then he raided me. No, not quite, but... Famines has some crazy long streams. Welcome, Famines, and hello, Raiders. Welcome, everybody. Throw a shout out to Famines. Thank you for that. All right, I just finished up in Elysium Mines. You just caught me coming out of the secret door. I did it. So let's head back to... I want to go recall. So one fast travel is recall. You can bind to one spot. It can be a town crier, so you can bind to a town. It can be a town lot or a house lot, which is what I've done. I've bound to my own house, so I will just pop out in front of my house. All right, so the first thing I want to do is open this bundle that I was all excited about. So I told you that there's 3 paths. So I was talking to Elvelyn. I'm going to figure out how to say that name eventually. Elvelyn. So there's three banners up here. Let's close the inventory. There's 4 banners up here, but there's 3 that look alike. Actually, let's talk about the other one first. So this banner is my heraldry. So you can actually put heraldry in the game. And this was another backer. I think you might be able to buy this still. It might not be just a backer bonus. But this is my heraldry. I am showing off the fact that I love to craft. Oh, here I can put the more light on it. So my heraldry is what I think is nightshade or mandrake. This one might be mandrake root and wheat, and then just the shovel, basically agriculture. So I made a heraldry that was just agriculture. So this is unique to me. This is my heraldry. Nobody else gets this art in the game. They can copy it, obviously, and make it their own heraldry, but this is my heraldry. And there's lots of things you can put heraldry on. You can put it, obviously, on banners, like I've done so here. You can put it on bigger banners. There's a whole bunch of different types. There's like freestanding banners. You can put it on cloaks. You can put it on robes to go over the front of your body. You can put it on cloaks to go on the back of your body, so forth and so on. So there's a bunch of different places you can put heraldry. You can put it on shields. Wouldn't I look intimidating with agriculture on a shield? That's what I'm going for, at the very least. But these other three banners are the banners of the three principles. So the book and the color blue is the banner of truth. The bell and the red is the banner of courage. And the light and yellow is the banner of love. So that is the three principles. So also in the game, very scary, more scary than a BF5 medic. Yeah, probably. Oh, I got a pop-up that said my instance is closing. They do, they'll patch the server. They patch the server fairly regularly, and when you do that, you get kicked out of your instance and you have to go into a new one. But you get like 60 minutes. So I'm on old code in my instance right now, but I'm not too worried about it. So they give you other... So the principles and the virtues are super important. So they are... Here, let me play something here. Hopefully this works. This is a video. This is actually Richard Garriott talking in the background, but you can watch this and it'll explain them. And it's like a super cool video talking about the virtues or the principles and the virtues.
The Ultima system of virtues has an interesting structure. We started with the three principles of truth, love, and courage, which we felt were fundamental positive ideals. From these three principles, we derived the 8 virtues by combining them in the 8 possible ways. Therefore, truth by itself we called honesty. Love by itself gave us the virtue of compassion. Courage gives us the virtue of valor. Truth, tempered by love, gives us justice. Love and courage gives us self-sacrifice. Truth and courage gives us chivalric honor. All three together, truth, love, and courage, we called spirituality. None of the above we called pride, which is not a virtue, so we use its opposite, which is humility. We've also created symbology to go along with this pattern. We call this symbol the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom. It begins with 3 circles which represent the 3 principles of truth, love, and courage. We add lines to these 3 circles that are tangent to one or more of the circles based upon which virtue it is. So for example, the virtue of honesty has a line which is tangent only to the circle of truth. The virtue of compassion becomes tangent to the principle of love. Valor becomes tangent to courage. Justice is tangent to both truth and love. Likewise, sacrifice is tangent to love and courage. And honor is tangent to courage and truth. Spirituality is the small circle that you see tangent to all of truth, love, and courage. And then finally, for humility, we draw a large outer circle that encloses the whole symbol and yet is tangent to none of the principles of truth, love, or courage. And when this outer circle is complete, we have completed the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom, which symbolizes the relationship between the 3 principles and the 8 virtues of the
The 8 virtues of the 8 virtues of the Avatar is how it ended. That's a very old video. I think it might be like from Ultima 4. So that's those virtues. That's the core. That's kind of the core piece of the narrative around the Ultima games, Ultima Online, and this. It's like it's the one defining thing that goes through it. So the Shroud of the Avatar immediately introduces you to those 3 principles and you earn them. So this other thing that I earned today is actually the bundled banner of justice. Oh, that's interesting. It's no trade. So there's very, very few things in this game that are no trade. So I can't give this to somebody else. So I can't go into that place and actually farm that item. I wonder if it drops every time. It may not even drop every time. And if you remember, there was only one of them. So if 3 people go in there, only one of them gets this loot. So you'd have to go back for it. It's a very old school way of kind of earning something. So I'm going to use my bundled banner, and I get a banner of justice. Oh, it's funny. So this one is tradable. I don't know why the bundled version wasn't tradable, but apparently this one is tradable. So I can actually add this to my house. Let's put it right here, because I don't know where else to put it. And then back up so we can see some light on it. So the banner of justice, of course, is the scales of justice. Oddly enough, the scales of justice are not even. Not sure what that's implying, but so I know that there are banners for the rest of the virtues. So now I have collected one. I did not even know it was in there. So that was a very pleasant surprise. I'm gonna have to get a much bigger place to hang all these eventually. I wonder if I can hang them all in a row. I could try and arrange them in a big circle like the Codex of Ultimate Wisdom, but we'll see. So here's I'm going to go through a little bit of crafting in this game, and this is kind of a cool bit. I've been building longswords, and longswords are a standard one-handed sword. The recipe for a longsword is a basic recipe, which means there's and by that I mean there's one of them. So if I go into my book, there's a longsword. It takes a blade, it takes a hilt, and then it takes some fuel to put it together. All of the recipes are fairly straightforward. Now, there may be other one-handed sword recipes, but a longsword recipe is a longsword recipe. You can make a whole bunch of different types depending on the blade and the hilt. So one thing I can do actually, that book isn't great. There's a recipe list in that book that I just opened up, but it's not very user-friendly once you have a lot of recipes. If you actually use the crafting station, you get another list of recipes that has a filter on it. So I have a copper hilt, an iron hilt, and a meteoric hilt. And these recipes will only make exactly what they say. So the copper hilt takes copper ingots, you make a copper hilt. An iron hilt takes iron ingots, you make an iron hilt, and that's that. There are two basic metals, iron and copper. There's 2 upgraded versions of those metals. Bronze, which is an upgraded version of copper. No, actually, that's not quite true. So bronze is an upgraded version of copper. Constantan is an upgraded version of copper. And then there's meteoric iron and white iron. So this is the meteoric iron hilt. And for the blade has similar recipes. So let's take longsword blade. So I have copper longsword blade and iron longsword blade. And I have meteoric iron hilt. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make one of each of those blades, and then I'm going to make 2 of that hilt. And this is going to take a lot of crafting just to make a single longsword. Well, let's give it a shot. I'm gonna need some ingots, so I need an ingot mold. I need some nickel and tungsten. I have tungsten, I do not have nickel. I need iron ingots. I have bank access in my house? No. I do not have bank. Hey, Santiago, how's it going? I do not have bank access in my house. I have a lot of stuff in my house. This is just normal storage. Yeah, it's just the... It's just the... How many things do I have? I have 36 containers inside and 2 outside, so 38. Yeah, it's just the, whatever that number comes out to, 12,000. It's just my 12,000 item storage in my house. Where was I? Iron. I need iron ore. I need a bunch of metal scraps. Copper ore. Did I get iron ore? I did. I need a longsword blade mold. I think that's it. Now over here I need fuel. And I'm only going to need coal. I'll go over back to my crafting stations. So I'm going to need a bunch of iron ingots. Then I need 2... Oh, wait. I already made some meteoric iron ingots. So I need to grab those. Actually, let's grab the copper ingots. Meteoric iron ingots. I'm trapped. And I bought a fancy ring. Oh, let's take that and equip it. So I have a ring. It increases my blacksmith masterwork, so I'll do that too. All right, so here we go. So I need 2 more meteoric iron ingots. So for that, I need a bunch of meat. Oh, I'm at the wrong station. Blacksmithing is not smelting. Sometimes your camera moves in odd ways. There we go. Oh, I don't have any iron ingots. I need 7. Oh. Thank you, Senegal. Yes, that is why I grabbed the metal strap. So that probably gave me 5. No, it only gave me 1. So I need 6 more. Yeah, the metal scrap saves you ore. So when you pick up junk in the wild, you can salvage it and you get scrap out of it. And then you can turn the scrap, like metal scrap can be used to make iron and copper ingots for less ore, basically. So it means less hammering on rocks. And there's a lot of hammering on rocks in this game. Yeah, there's a lot of hammering on rocks. There's a lot of chopping on trees. For sure. All right, so that gives me a bunch of iron ingots. So now I need... So meteoric iron ingots are very expensive. They cost 2 iron ingots, 1 nickel and 1 tungsten, which are rare drops from mining, to make 1 ingot. So I need 2 more. Alpine, hello and welcome. Nice to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Oh, my efficient. I'm increasing some smelting skills. Oh, I actually got 2 out of that one. Nice. Efficient. Yeah, there's a skill in most of the refining skills. I was just using smelting. There's something called efficient refined materials, which adds a chance to gain bonus materials for smelting. So that just triggered for me. So that was really nice because that's very valuable. All right, what did I need? I can only make 2 types of hilts right now. I don't have the other recipes.
How can I resist such exciting crafting action?
Lucky guy.
Question mark,
Nice.
exclamation mark.
Hey, Big Ed Mustafa, nice to see you. Yes, we have some serious crafting. I've been gathering materials for most of the stream, boring people to death with my casual stories. Nice to see you, bud. Thank you for the support. All right, so we have longsword blade. Yeah, I only have the 2. So I have 2 different types of blades. I have copper and iron. So I'm gonna... Hey, Mr. Expert, thanks for the follow and welcome. So I'm going to craft a copper longsword blade. And I'm going to craft an iron longsword blade. And my blacksmithing is leveled up to level 82. And now I need those 2 hilts. Specifically, these 2 meteoric iron hilts. So, this is something else this game does that's kind of interesting. I talked about how important pooling experience is because you use it to level up skills. So, when I make this meteoric iron hilt, it's going to give me experience. Now, one of the things the game developers do is that if you have kind of an activity that's easily repeatable, like this one is about to be, then there's a very sharp drop off in reward from it. So when I make the first one, it's going to give me a crap ton of XP. When I make the second one, it's going to give me significantly less. I don't know exactly what those numbers are because I have skills going up, so I'm going to earn a bunch of XP, but I'm also going to spend a bunch because my skills are going to go up. So let's just see. I got 432, 249. So if I craft one hilt, is mathing again. I am mathing again. So I netted 20,000 XP. So remember those rocks I was beating on? They were giving me 1,000 without anything going up. So that one item just gave me 20,000. That is a huge amount. It gave me more than 20,000 because my blacksmithing skill went up and it probably used a bunch of that. Or it definitely used a bunch. So I'm going to make another one and let's see how much this one goes up. So I got 452, 973. That actually went down. So the first one gave me way more than 20,000. The second one gave me probably less than 1,000. So it has a very sharp drop-off rate. Now, that's because that was the first meteoric iron hilt that I made this month. From what I understand is that every major release, which is the last Thursday of every month, all those things are reset and you get to do it again, which is a nice way of basically saying, don't sit and make 1,000 of things over and over again. Just make one a month and then you'll gain tons of XP. Yeah, Senegal. So it resets? Yes, but I don't think a developer has ever admitted that it resets. So I'm not sure it's a feature. Or at the very least, I'm pretty sure it's not a promised feature. So Elfane says first time craft is 5x, exceptional is 3x. As long as there is a release. Yeah, it resets. I don't know if they've promised. I kind of like it. Like I kind of like it on the monthly cadence because it basically says if you're going to like do 100 of these one day, 99 aren't going to give you much. But if you do one a month for 10 years, then it'll give you a lot. So it's kind of like that leveling out of, you'll get tons of XP from this stuff. You just don't get it all at once. That's what they're trying to do. So here's another thing, Senegal, if you don't know this. I'm pretty sure Elfine knows this. Elfine, I know, is a very capable Shroud of the Avatar player. So I really appreciate when the well-known capable players come into chat. It's great to see you here, and I appreciate it. They're bringing us lots of love and crafting. Yeah. No, it's. So now I'm going to make a longsword because I have the things for it. So Senegal, this is really important. When I make a copper longsword, or when I make a longsword, it takes a blade and it takes a hilt. So if I throw in, so let's just make one. I'm going to make one. It's going to use up my copper blade, and it's going to use up my meteoric iron hilt, and it's going to use up my fuel. Fuel is irrelevant, really. The fuel is necessary, but all it does is make crafting possible. It doesn't change the outcome. What's important here is the meteoric iron hilt and the copper blade. So I'm going to craft this. I'm at 451, 975. So I went up to 465. So that gave me about 14,000. A little more, right around 14,000 or 14,000 net. So here's the other important thing, Senegal. When I do this again, I'm using an iron and a meteoric iron hilt. This is a different recipe. So it's still longsword twice, but because I'm using different types of ingredients, I still get the 5x XP from this one. So there are, if you look at this, there's iron, copper, bronze, constantin, meteoric, and white iron. So there's 6 metals. And there's recipes for blades and hilts with each of them. So you can do 36 different combinations of longsword every month that'll give you about 15,000 XP each. Well, I mean, I have no idea how much it gave me because I don't want to set this to lock because I'm really trying to push up my blacksmithing skills. So now I'll make this. I'm at 465. Oh, there I only went up by 1,000. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe a longsword is a longsword because it only went up by 1,000. So it's 466. Who knows? I'm pretty sure I haven't made one of those. All right, so let's go look at crafting a little bit more. So I now can make 2 different blades, copper and iron, and I can make 3 different it's not in that chest. It's in this chest. So these are the 2 weapons that I just made. So now in this box, or in this window, I have I have 6 weapons. And these weapons are made from the 2 different blades that I have and the 3 different hilts that I have. So I have a copper longsword. The name comes from the blade. So I have a copper longsword made with an iron hilt. I have a copper longsword made with a copper hilt. And I have a copper longsword made with a meteoric iron hilt. And then I have an iron longsword, which is iron longsword blade, made with a copper, iron, and meteoric iron hilt. So if I had all the recipes, I could actually do 36 different weapons that all are slightly different because of the components that went into them. And if there's actually a expanded view of the tooltip. So for this copper longsword, actually it's funny, the +3 means I got an exceptional. So I got 4 exceptional. I don't think I got an exceptional on either of the 2 I just did recently. No. Oh yeah, I did. So this is one that I did with the meteoric iron hilt. So the copper weapon blade gives me +1 weapon damage and +5% weapon critical chance. The iron weapon blade gives me +2 weapon damage. I don't have a meteoric blade recipe. So the meteoric, or the hit on the hilts, the meteoric iron hilt gives me +1 weapon damage. The copper hilt gives me +1% weapon critical chance. And the iron hilt gives me +0.5 weapon damage. So it's the same as the meteoric bonus. It's just less because it's a mundane metal instead of a more advanced metal. So that's crafting, basically in a nutshell. The longsword's actually a really good example of how to mix and match different materials to produce a longsword that has slightly different values to it. When you get into other recipes, you actually mix and match things. So when I make chest armor, I use wire metal bindings. Why don't I just check instead of guessing? So augmented chainmail chest armor uses wire straps and metal binding. Straps come from tailoring. Is that a version of R2D2? Yes, it is. So the straps come from tailoring, and tailoring has the same thing. You get hides, and you can make leather, and then you can make hardened leather, and then you can make all sorts of other types of metal or better leather, and then from those more advanced materials you can make more advanced straps, and then you bring those more advanced properties into your normal augmented chainmail chest armor. So it takes 3 main ingredients, which is metal wire, straps, and metal binding. So you get a little bit more variance with making chainmail chest armor. So it's a really nice way to like mix and match things throughout the crafting system. So now I can go and do some masterworking. So here is 2D2G. It's not a very good name. One of the releases they did I think it was when Star Wars 6 came out. They did some rewards. They did a bunch of rewards that were like, there's an electric blue sword. Remind you of anything? There's a red one too. They did this guy. They do, there's a helmet that is white and kind of looks plasticky. There's a bunch of Adobe domes. Yeah, there's a bunch of things that they gave. I don't know whose plot this is, but that's all that's here. Let the force be with you. Yeah, exactly. So those weapons are +3. They're not very good. But what I can do now is I can make some silver ingots, because I spent a lot of time in Elysium mines. I don't have any silver scraps. So we'll just make 5 silver ingots. So that's why there's so much Adobe housing available. Well, no, I think... Wait, what just happened? Oh, my ingot mold died. Hold on, I gotta get a new ingot mold. I think only those 2 items. There is a lot of Adobe housing because their desert biome has a lot of Adobe type housing around. That's not... The Adobe housing was actually in the game before... before those rewards came in. I gotta sell these old ingot molds. Or my camera view screwed up again. All right, so I need what I got? I got 1. I need 4 more. Let's see if I can get lucky. Get some efficient refine. I think I failed on one of those. Oh, I failed, but then I got efficient on the last one. Nice. Okay. So I got my 5. All right, so I think I put on my ring. +5 blacksmithing masterwork. Yep. So there's a masterwork process too, which is basically taking a item. Oh, did I not bring any of my... Oh, I didn't. I left all of my blades behind. These things aren't really worth The ones that I made aren't... Oh, where did I put them? In here? Yep. First, I'm going to put them in here. Because I keep thinking that's where they are anyway. +2 weapon damage, +5% weapon critical chance. So I'm going to take that one. It's probably the best one. These ones aren't really worth masterworking, but my masterworking skills are really low and I need to get them higher, so I got to start somewhere. So masterwork takes 1 crafted blacksmithing equipable and 5 silver ingots. Tips. Does that mean tips are incoming? Oh, wait. Silver ingot. I just used 20 silver ore, so that's 10. Remember, I get about 2 or maybe 3 ore per each of those nodes. So this is actually going to use about 8 or 9 of those nodes worth of mining that I did. It uses a lot of silver. But what'll happen here... What'll happen here is that we will... Masterworking is basically just improving the weapon. And masterworking will add kind of innate qualities to the weapon. So it adds like... So if you're doing something to a weapon, it'll add things like damage and whatnot. There's also enchantment, which is done through alchemy. And enchanting adds magic effects. So... It might add attunement to a particular magic school or defensive and magic. I don't quite know that much about enchantment yet. But... All right, I'm gonna go for this. Did I get the right one? Copper longsword +3. Yeah, +2 weapon damage. And 5 silver ingots. And I'll craft this. Hopefully I don't fail. I did not. So I got a weapon critical damage, so +5% weapon critical damage. I got a weapon damage, +0.2, that is not very much. And I got a +2.5%. Pooled up a very high pool of crafting XP, drink up 300% learning potion, get a Lost Veil buff, 50% learning. Party with the GM, that's where you start training your masterwork. Okay, got it. All right, I will not, I will plan much better for the rest of my silver. I guess the last thing on your list is get a whole bunch of silver. So I'm going to add +5% weapon critical damage, which I think is the best one. Doesn't really say. Anyway, I will choose that one. So now this weapon that I have, again, the tooltip, if I hold down control, it has a longer version of it. So now I see the copper weapon blade gives me stuff. The meteoric iron hilt gives me stuff. The fact that I exceptionally made it gives me +50 maximum durability, which is great. And now the first masterwork I do to it gives me weapon critical damage of +5%. For start, yep, for start, get stats. Anyway, so that's kind of the, anyway, you do that over and over again. Some of the, All Up would love this. Yeah, I'm sure. I love it because the nice thing is that, like, if you think about it, I just spent the last 2 hours making this sword. That's it. The sword will last a long time. And this one's not very good. Copper longsword +5 is actually... I mean, this gives... If I gave this to... Like, I could give this to a new player in Blades. +2 weapon damage, +5% weapon critical chance, +5% weapon critical damage. That's going to be a pretty good upgrade to anything else they have. It's not really worth selling, so it's more like, hey, you're a new player? Here, have this. Enjoy the game. So forth and so on. But we should get all up to play. Yeah, well, he said he downloaded it. Kryles is a bit nervous that he's going to be like, what is all this, these numbers that you have to pay attention to and whatnot? But the fact that he knows exactly what every single weapon in Battlefield does and when to use it, it's like you have to love he has to get into the mechanics. He must. I wish I could talk like you during my combat training instruction. Oh, you do combat training instructions? Sign me up, Alpine. Sign me up. I guess I just need to sound like a drill sergeant. You could do it. You could do it. This game's fun. It's fun to, Dr. L is another great streamer that was on, and I was sitting in his channel the other day, and somebody apologized to him for asking a bunch of questions, and he's like, no, I love this game. This is fantastic. And I'm like, it's like, yeah, anybody who likes this game loves talking about this game. Once you start to learn all the details and stuff, Senegal says, I'm loving the attention to detail in this game. Yeah, for sure. It's just the mechanics around things are just great. That longsword recipe is the first longsword recipe you get. It's the last one. Now, there might be a few other special swords eventually, and there's certainly going to be swords that might take super rare ingredients or whatever. But by and large, you're going to make endgame gear with the first recipe you get at some point in the future. I will get there after I follow all of Elfine's advice about getting a very high. So what is a very high pool of crafting XP, Elfine? Like, you talking millions or several hundred thousands or what? I have 460,000. I think I had about 390,000 earlier today. Couple of million? Okay. Well, I can just go grind out silver and collect it. I have been trying to push up. I'm not in a hurry. So one thing, I realized that one thing I enjoy this game a lot more if I just force myself to be patient. And just like, it'll come. The skills will come. I don't need to catch up to you. I don't need to catch up to Falcon. Or people like that, that can do everything. I just enjoy just kind of like plodding along in this game. I have been pushing up mining. So mining is actually GM'd, my second GM. So now I'm just trying to get Swift Gathering mining up. This will probably be my first GM tree. I don't know, but the best crafting XP is hunting animals. Hunting animals and making food. Okay, because cooking is something that I'm interested in too. That's very cool. I'll have to get into that. I do have a lot of... I can make a lot of decent food right now. There's my lists of carcasses that I haven't processed yet. So, like 35 bear carcasses. I'm starting to climb. I'm starting to get a few more obsidian carcasses. Skin, butcher, cooking. All these three give more XP. Just make your... Oh, you can just stop at 80? Okay. I'm almost there. I think I'm almost there. Yeah, I'm at 77. Cool. I can't wait to see them expand the cooking tree, the cooking skill system. I don't know if Big Ed is still here, and I don't know if I showed you this last time, but the fishing system goes back into crafting. So all of these fishing trophies, I caught all of these fish. And I mounted all of these fish, including that one, although that one is the same as this one. In fact, I also killed these timber wolves and mounted the timber wolves. The trophy fish, this is really cool part of the fishing system, is that the trophy fish include your name, your location where you caught the fish, and the date you caught it. So people in the game have done fishing tournaments, and you get like a day, like a New Britannia day, which is 2 hours. So they'll say, you know, the fishing tournament is for August 5th. And then all of your fishing that you catch, the only thing that you can enter is things caught on August 5th because it's time stamped on the fish itself. So they'll do fishing tournaments like server wide over a period of time, which is really cool. Fortunately, they don't rot. Yeah, the carcasses don't rot. Anagal says, I was amazed when I hit 500,000. I'll need to turn off leveling and just play for a week to build it up. Yeah, for sure. And of course, do quests. Yeah, I'm doing all the quests, although I'm doing those slowly too. Hey, Zinger. Nice to see you, man. Maybe you could pass some of the patience to certain members of other MMO communities. So you don't rush to endgame just so you can gripe that there's nothing to do? No, I definitely do not. I definitely do not. Cool. Well, that's my 15-minute warning that this instance is going to close. Here, I'm going to say yes, and then it's going to like zone me out and back in. Just so I can get out of this instance. That they keep wanting to kick me out of. Cool beans. I believe there is a patch. Yeah, there's been a couple patches today. I think Chris is full-time programming again. So we're probably going to see a lot more progress on changes. I watched his stream both yesterday afternoon and today. And he's tweaking, he's just polishing the little bits to crazy. So that'll be cool. And stop there and spam cooking for the experience. Oh, nice. Or sing. Sorry, wrong info. Make your butchering to level 80 and make sure you can shop. Oh, some dragon meat? Failing the butcher will get you experience 3x. Oh, is that right? Interesting. All right, so that's a neat trick. So if you didn't get that, so get butchery to 80. And then stop it, which allows you to do dragon meat, but you'll probably fail, but you still get experience from the failure. So, but you don't consume the dragon meat, because dragon meat is really hard to come by. Dragons just do not want to give it up very easily. That's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I've noticed that I gained XP on failures in crafting, and I was surprised. I didn't think that was going to happen, but I noticed that I did. All right, that's really interesting. I do not have any dragon meat. I'm going to have to ping some folks and get some. Hey, look. I have very high-level friends on. Might have to do that. Cool beans. Dr. L, hey, I was just bragging about you. I guess I was bragging for you. Everybody check out Dr. L. Dr. L streams algebra. Oh, wait, people were complaining about math. That's right, I forgot. People were complaining about math. Hey, freelancer. Nice to see you. Dr. L streams algebra during the day And well, he's moved on to geometry now. A great streamer. You got to check him out. For sure, check him out. And but he also streams Shroud of the Avatar, and a very high-end player in Shroud of the Avatar. You just caught me. I'm just about to like sign off here. I've been soaking in. Elfine's been giving me tons of advice here, so I'm sort of just standing here at the end of my stream, taking in all the advice from the viewers that are way smarter than me. Oh, Tin said it was just her complaining about math. It's okay. All right, no problem. Just a quick geometry review, then back to algebra. I hope you're going to save those videos somewhere. I'd love to go back and get to watch all the VODs at some point in time in the future. If you have like, you export them to YouTube, put them up in a playlist or something? That would be cool. They're all on YouTube. Awesome. Do you have I think you can throw in your YouTube channel too, if you don't mind. And you can just paste it here, please. I don't think the permit is necessary because I don't tend to have troublemakers in my chat. So, but yeah, please post it there, and everybody check him out. He's a really cool guy. Very good streamer. Perfect. Thank you. I will check that out. A plus B equals C equals 2A plus 4B. Oh my God, we're doing puzzles now. Or puzzles. We're doing tests. We're doing tests. Okay, we're not going to do tests. I'm not going to suffer people through that. I am, however, thanks so much. Yeah, no problem. No problem. It's really cool. I honestly believe that. I tweeted today about games on Twitch is really cool, but it's the people that are doing it for things like education or maybe teaching people like a crap. Like I've seen, and there's a number of these things. I've seen a number of people in our Lotro community do knitting and other things like that and teach people how to do that. Like that kind of thing, I think, is the real power of Twitch. The entertainment is super valuable. The gaming is fun. It's necessary. It's socially awesome, definitely. But I think the real power is things like teaching and informing. Induction. Hey, Kevin, nice to see you. Do you stream? Are you streaming on Twitch, Elfane? We'll give you a shout out. There you go. Hey, Kevin M, thanks for the subscription. I appreciate that. Thanks for the support. Nice to see you. I don't think I've caught you, Elfine. There. Got a follow in, so I'll get that up. All right, I do have to head out though, folks. It is dinner time. We killed a rainbow unicorn. What? That's crazy talk. So I am going to raid another good streamer in our community. Let's see who is up. Yeah, Silver Tree Consortium. Let's go say hi to them. I just do live stream, teach and party in game. Oh, okay, cool, cool. I had some bids. Never send that one yet? Oh, okay, no problem. Well, we'll see you around, Elfine. I appreciate you dropping in. I really appreciate the advice. Dr. L, I'll see you in game, I'm sure, sometime soon. Thank you, everybody. Kevin M, thanks for the sub. Big Ed, Mustafa, thanks for the sub. I much appreciate that. Famines, thank you for the raid. And Trains Worthington came out, the host. Thank you very much, everybody, for that. It was super nice chat with everybody today. Thanks for hanging out in my little crafting stream. And I will talk to everybody very soon. So we're going to go check out Silver Tree Consortium. Another great guy. If you play Shroud of the Avatar, he does a lot of cool stuff. Does a lot of giveaways too. So if you're into that, do it. All right. Thanks everybody. We'll talk to you again very soon.